everyone, it's Crochet by Beb. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you are doing fine today. In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this cardigan. It's very simple and easy to make. You're going to start making the back panel and the two front panels, then the sleeves, and then last the borders. The stitch pattern is very simple. It's only 4-row repeat. And this is made to measure so you can make the desired size you would like for your cardigan. For your measurement reference, my finished cardigan measured 22 inches wide and it is 20 inches long. The sleeve 14 inches long and it is 8 inches wide. And take note, this is not yet washed and black, so it will may grow. In this cardigan, you can use any kind of yarn you would like to use. For me, I use this yarn, Jade from Hobbii, and this is 100% acrylic yarn. It is number 4 or medium weight. And I use 6mm hook, scissors, tape measure, and stitch markers, yarn needle also. I put here how many grams I use to make my cardigan for your reference. So it depends if you're going to make bigger or smaller size, you will need or more less of this. Okay, before we start, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and you can share your work with me in my Instagram at Crochet by Beb. You can follow me in there for more updates and hope you enjoy making your cardigan. Let's start. We're going to make first the back panel, and to know how wide you need to make for your panels, first measure your bust circumference and then add a positive ease onto that. For example, 37 inches bust circumference, I added 7 inches onto that. So to make it 44 inches, so I have at least 7 inches positive ease. You can make it lower or higher. It depends how fit you would like for your cardigan. If you would like it to be as it is, don't add positive ease, okay? Just maybe add only 2 inches, okay? And that you're going to divide that into 2. 44 divided by 2 is 22. So 22 for back panel and then 22 for the two front panels that you're going to divide that into 2 also for the left and right front panel. Again, measure your bust circumference and add the positive ease onto that, then divide that into 2, and that is the measurement you need for your back panels and then later for the front panels. So here in my back panels, I have 22 inches wide. So as you can see, this is stretchable, so it is 22 inches wide. Now I'm going to show you how to start the stitches. For the stitch pattern, it's a multiple of 10 plus 5. Okay, you're going to make a multiple of 10 plus 5. Originally, the pattern is a multiple of 5 plus 5, but we are making a cardigan that we can divide later for the front panels. So we are doing it a multiple of 5 plus 5. In that, you're going to make a numbers like 55, 65, 75, 85, and so on. In my back panels, I did mistake because I already did this back panel before I realized I have only 70 stitches here in my back panel, but it's alright. So now I am correcting it now, and just do your stitches a multiple of 10 plus 5 just to end with the 5 number. Okay, I hope that is clear. So now I'm going to show you how to start the foundation row, which is this chainless single crochet. To start, you're going to make a slip knot and then insert your hook, then chain 1, make it a bit loose, insert your hook into that bump of your chain, then grab a yarn over pull through 1, yarn over pull through 2 loops. Now you're going to insert your hook in these 2 loops at the bottom, then grab a yarn, pull through 1 again, and then pull through 2 loops. So we have 2 stitches here, this one and this one. This one doesn't count as a stitch, okay? So again, insert hook in the 2 loops at the bottom, grab a yarn, pull through 1 and then 2 loops. insert, grab, through 1, through 2 loops. So you're going to do this until you reach your number of your stitches. Make sure it is a multiple of 10 plus 5. So you're going to end, for example, 55, 65, 75, 85, 95. Okay? So it depends how wide you are making. So for me, it's 22 inches. So I got 70 inches onto that. But what I said before, you should make it ending with 5 your stitches. Okay, I have here only 25 stitches just to show you how to make the pattern. So for row 1, you're going to make chain 2, and chain 2 always doesn't count as a stitch, okay? Then turn into your first stitch, work double crochet. Then next stitch, work double crochet 3 together or cluster. So yarn over, insert into that next stitch, grab a yarn, pull through 2 loops, don't finish. Again, yarn over, insert into that same stitch, grab a yarn, then yarn over, pull through 2 loops, don't finish. Again, yarn over, insert into that same stitch, grab a yarn, then pull through 2 loops. We have now 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over all into these 4 loops. So we have double crochet 3 together or cluster. Now we're going to skip 2 stitches. 1, 2. Here into this next stitch, work cluster, double crochet 3 together. Then chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Then next stitch, cluster. Now we're going to skip 3, 1, 2, 3. In that next stitch, work the same cluster, chain 3, cluster. So cluster, chain 3, then cluster into that next stitch. So we're going to repeat like this, skipping 3, then next stitch, cluster, chain 3, then cluster into that next stitch. Then just repeat like that, skipping 3, skipping 3 here, then next stitch, cluster, chain 3, and then next stitch, cluster. So we're going to skip 3, then make cluster, chain 3, next cluster at the next stitch. And then when you're going to have 4 stitches, that's I'm going to show you here. Okay, here into your 4 last stitches, you're going to skip 2, the same like we did here in the beginning. We only skip 2 here and then skip 2 at the end. And then in the middle, you're going to skip 3 stitches, okay? Just only skip 2 at the beginning and skip 2 here at these last stitches. So you skip 2 and here into these last 2 stitches, you're going to make cluster. Okay, then 1 double crochet into that last stitch. So it's the same like our beginning stitch here. So we start with 1 double crochet and then 1 cluster. So we end also here 1 double crochet and 1 cluster. Okay, so always remember you're going to skip only 2 here at the beginning and only at the end. In the middle, skipping 3. Alright, for row 2, you're going to chain 1. Chain 1 always doesn't count as a stitch. then turn, and for row 2 you're going to work all single crochet. So here into your first stitch, single crochet, on top of this cluster, single crochet, and in this cluster, single crochet. And here in these hanging chains, you're going to work only 2 single crochet and 1 in this small stitch here. There's a small stitch here, you're going to work 1 in there. And then 1 again in that cluster, 1 in that stitch of the cluster. And again here at that hanging chains, only make 2 single crochet and then 1 on that small stitch or chain. Okay, so you're going to repeat this until the end, all single crochet. So here at the end, you're going to work 1 on top of your cluster and 1 on top of that double crochets. So this is row 2, all single crochet. Then for row 3, chain 2, doesn't count as a stitch again, then turn work. Here into your first stitch, you're going to work double crochet unfinished. So don't finish. Then another 2 double crochet here, unfinished. So yarn over, pull through 2 loops, don't finish, and another double crochet. So it's like double crochet 2 together into this stitch. So we have now 1 2 3 4 loops on the hook, yarn over all into these 4 loops. Okay, 1 here unfinished double crochet, and then 2 unfinished double crochet, then join them together, then chain 3, 1 2 3, then next stitch work 1 cluster, so double crochet 3 together. Then now we're going to skip 3, 1 2 3, and then work the same cluster, chain 3, then cluster into that next stitch. So it's the same, you're going to skip 3, then next stitch work the cluster, chain 3, then next stitch the cluster. Only the difference of the row 2 and row 4 is how to begin your stitch and how to end. So again, you're going to skip 3, then work cluster, chain 3, then next stitch cluster, continue, and then I will meet you at the end, and I will show you how to end the stitch. Okay, here you skip 3, then make the cluster into that next stitch, then chain 3, and now we have only 2 stitches left. So we're going to work into this next stitch 2 double crochet and finish, then 1 at that last stitch. Now we have 4 loops on the hook, yarn over all into these 4 loops. So it's like the same here. We just start with the 1 unfinished double crochet and then 2 finished, then join them together. Here into this last 2 stitches, start with the 2 unfinished double crochet and then 1 last unfinished double crochet, join them together. As easy like that. So only the difference is how to start the stitches. At the middle or at the center, it's the same. You're just going to skip 3. Okay, for row 5, you're going to chain 1 and doesn't count as a stitch also. It's the same like our row 3, the all single crochet. You're going to start here, single crochet. Then in this hanging chains, only 2 single crochet, and then 1 on that small chain stitch, and into that top of the clusters. Okay, it's the same. You're going to work all single crochet. Okay, for the next row, you're just going to repeat your row 2, then row 3, row 4, row 5. So this is the start of your repeating row. You're repeating row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5. So here, you're going to repeat now this one. So if you're not yet memorized how to do the stitches, you're going to look back here and work the same like here. So in this stitch, work 1 double crochet. So chain 2 here doesn't count as a stitch always. So double crochet, then this one is cluster, so we're cluster into that next stitch. Then you're going to skip 2, so skip 2, then next stitch, work again your cluster, chain 3 cluster into that next stitch. So remember, in repeating row 2, you're going to skip here the beginning only 2 stitches. Chain 3, then next stitch. Okay, so you're going to repeat this, skipping 3, then work the same cluster, chain 3 cluster into that next stitch. Skip 3 cluster, and then into your last 2 stitches, work the same like this. 3 double crochet together or the cluster, then 1 double crochet into that last stitch. Then for row 2, you're going to work all double crochet. Then row 3, work the double crochet and 2 double crochet into that next stitch together, chain 3, and then cluster into that next stitch. Then skip 3 cluster, chain 3 cluster into that next stitch, skip 3 next stitch, cluster, chain 3 cluster into that next stitch, and continue until you reach into your last stitches. Here you're going to skip 3 here, cluster, chain 3, then 2 double crochet and finish together with 1 double crochet into your last stitch. And then it's the same here, all single crochet. Remember, only 2 single crochet into your hanging chain, then 1 at that small chain, and then on top of that clusters. Okay, if you want to see or learn more of these stitches, you can watch the other video that I made to make this stitch pattern. I will link here, up here. Alright, so now continue this stitch pattern till you reach the height or the length of your back panel. So here I will show you now how long my back panel. Okay, and take note, you should stop at least 2 inches before your desired length. Okay, 2 inches before your desired length, because we're going to add here the hem border, at least 2 inches. So now I have 18 inches long of my back panel. So we're going to add more here later after we join our panels. Okay, so 2 inches before your desired length. Continue your back panel, and then next is I'm going to show you how to make your 2 front panels. Okay, to make your 2 front panels, first you're going to minus 5 stitches into your back panel stitches. For example, you have 75 stitches, deduct or minus 5 stitches, so 70 stitches, and then divide that into 2. So 70 divided by 2 is 35 stitches. So you're going to have 35 stitches here, then 35 stitches for this panel. So the 5 stitches that you deducted, it is the space here. So you're going to have 5 stitches space here. This space here is the space we're going to make for the side border. Okay, so for me, as I said before, I only have 70 stitches at the back, so I have 35 and 35, so I don't have a space here, but it's totally fine. I'm just showing you the correct way how to make your panel. So first deduct 5 stitches and then divide that into 2. So this is 35 stitches and then 35 stitches. So it's the same how to start. You're going to start with your foundation or your row 1 single crochet, chainless single crochet, then repeating row 2, row 3, row 4, then row 5. Okay, so you're going to work like this. I have 35 stitches for my right side front panel, then 35 stitches also here for my left side front panel. You're just going to work your right front panel, continue until you reach the last 4 rows here. 1 2 3 4. You're going to stop, for example, in this row. So here I'm going to show you how to make the neckline, because we're going to deduct here some stitches to make the neckline. Okay, continue working your front panels and stop 4 rows before you finish the same length of the back panel. Okay, so 4 rows. So 1 2 3 4. So I will work one more row here, the single crochet, and then I will show you how to do the neckline decrease in this part. Okay, if you are already in your last 4 rows into your right front panel, now we're going to deduct stitches here for the neckline or the opening of our neckline. I'm going to deduct 10 stitches, so it's either you're going to deduct 10 stitches or 15 stitches. Okay, it's up to you. If you would like to make your neckline a bit open, you can make it 15. So for me, I'm going to deduct only 10 stitches. And take note, we're going to have more in this side because of the side borders, at least 1 inch here, so take note also onto that. For me, I'm going to deduct only 10 stitches. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So this is my 10th stitch. I'm going to put my stitch marker into that next stitch, so meaning I'm going to stop my stitch in this mark stitch. Okay, so I'm just going to continue here and then stop onto that mark stitch. Just continue your repeating next row. So for me is this one. Okay, I'm almost here in my last stitch or in the mark stitch. So I'm going to skip 2 and then work cluster here. Then 1 double crochet into that last stitch. Okay, it depends if you are repeating also this row, you're going to end like this. Okay, so I'm just going to finish my last 3 rows. And then I'm coming back to show you how to do also for the left side front panel. So just continue and finish your rows. Okay, when you're finished your last row, chain 1 here to secure your yarn and cut your yarn a bit longer, just enough to sew these panels to the back panel. So like 3 times the length of this, then cut. Okay, for your left side front panel, you're going to work the same kind of stitches. I have also 35 stitches here, and then continue working your stitch pattern. And when you reach the last 4 rows, now we're going to deduct this time in this side. The right side front panel we deduct here, so this time we're going to deduct in this side. Here we're going to chain 1 and cut our yarn and count the same stitches here to deduct. So I'm going to deduct also 10 stitches. So I'm going to put my stitch marker into that next stitch. So I have 10 stitches here. So I'm going to insert my yarn in this mark stitch, and I'm going to chain 2. This doesn't count as a stitch. And in my next repeating row is repeating row 2, this one. So I'm going to work here into this first stitch double crochet, or I'm just going to make another chain. So this counts as my first double crochet, and then into that next stitch I'm going to work cluster. Okay, so if you are repeating row 4, you're just going to start like this. Okay, going to skip 2 and then next stitch cluster, then continue the stitches. Okay, then for the next row, I'm going to repeat the single crochet and then another rows of this and then another rows of single crochet, and I finish here. And also you're going to end with all single crochet. I'm coming back to show you the last stitch. Okay, so when you are done your last single crochet row, just going to chain one also here to secure your yarn and then cut bit of long tail. Now we are done with our two front panels. Okay, so this is our two front panels, and now we are ready to join the panels together. Okay, let's sew first the shoulders. So put your back panel right side up and your two front panels right side down. The right side are facing inside. First, we're going to sew the shoulder using our left yarn here and yarn needle. Okay, finished sewing the shoulder. So this is how it look like in the right side. And before sewing the sides, decide first how open or how wide you need for your sleeve. So for me, I already did my first sleeve here. So this is how it look like. I will measure it to you for your reference. This is about 8.5 inches, as you can see, and I have a total of 55 stitches around. So decide first how wide you would like for your sleeve or how open here at this part. Before sewing the side, you know where to sew only in this side. Okay, you can put your stitch mark here so you know where to stop. You can lay your tape measure to measure how wide you need for your sleeve. So for me, it's about 8.5. So here. And then you can count also your stitches in this part and in this side. According to our stitch pattern, it's a multiple of 5 plus 5 or 10 plus 5. So it doesn't matter now, it's okay. The stitch pattern is 5 plus 5. So I have 55 for me. I will divide that into 2. That is 27, 27, and I have one remaining stitch that I need. So I will gonna put in this armpit area. So I will put 27 here and then 27 at that side. So what I did is I put one stitch here, 2 stitches in this single crochet row, 1 stitch, 2 stitch, 1 stitch, 2 stitches. Take note, it depends also the yarn you are using. Maybe you are using a thinner yarn than mine, so you can see the distance if you're putting your single crochet in these sides. Okay, and one more is, if you unsure how many stitches you need for that side, you can use your back panel. You can lay down like this and lay your tape measure like this. If you need 8 inches, you can count how many stitches into that 8 inches. Okay, and take note, the stitches are stretchy and it should be a multiple of 5 plus 5. Okay. Okay, we're going to start here by facing the wrong side. So this is the wrong side. Facing like this, going to insert your yarn. So our single crochet is work at the wrong side and the double crochet or the cluster work at the right side. So we are starting facing the wrong side, and start your single crochet all the way around, just like the same our stitch pattern. So chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch. So I'm going to make single crochet into this side, 1 single crochet and that single crochet. Okay, continue working all single crochet around, and then I meet you back in here and show you how to join these stitches together, the first and last stitch. Continue single crochet around. Okay, I have now 54, and in my last stitch I'm going to attach these together. So I'm going to make single crochet and finish, and on that side together. So I have now 55 stitches, and now we're going to slip stitch into that first stitch. You can use your stitch marker to mark your first and last stitch. Slip stitch, slip stitch doesn't canasa stitch, then chain 2 for our row 2, doesn't canasa stitch, then turn. So this is my last stitch. I'm just going to hold like this. You can use your stitch marker, okay? Hold. In this first stitch, going to work double crochet. So it's the same like our stitch pattern, okay? Working double crochet and then the cluster into that next stitch. Then skipping 2 here and then work cluster, chain 3, then cluster into that next stitch. Okay, work as the same as our stitch pattern, and then I will meet you back at the end and then show you how to slip stitch here in that first stitch and then how to turn. Okay, I work my last stitch here, double crochet. Now we're going to slip stitch into our first stitch, slip stitch doesn't canasa stitch, then chain 1 and turn. So this is my last stitch. I'm going to hold. Now we're going to start single crochet again. So it's the same, work single crochet, and then when you reach the end, you're just going to slip stitch again into that first stitch and then chain 2 for repeating row, and then work your next repeating row. Okay, as simple as that. Just slip stitch here at the end and then chain 1 and or chain 2 and then turn work and do your stitches. Okay, so as simply as that. So it's going to look like this. Okay, so continue do that until you reach the length you desired for your sleeve, at least 1 inch before finishing, and we're going to work single crochet for the borders or for the cuff here, and I'm going to show you how to do the decreases here to make it a bit close the cuff. Okay, continue your sleeve. Okay, so before finishing the desired length of your sleeve, now we're going to create the cuff, and here I end with the last row of cluster and then the single crochet we're going to make decrease, so it's going to make a bit smaller the cuff. To do that, in your last single crochet row here, we're going to make decrease. So I'm going to turn also. To make the decrease, work 1 single crochet into your first stitch, and then into your next 2 stitches work single crochet together, so don't finish, and then into that next stitch, and then single crochet 2 together, and then 1 single crochet. Next work single crochet 2 together again, so 1 in here and then 1 at that small space together, so 1, then single crochet together, 1 single crochet together, then 1. Here we can't make single crochet together because we are working in this chain space, but you can do is you can insert your hook into that chain space, chain, and work your single crochet together. Like, so instead you work in that space, you work in that chain, and then work single crochet, then single crochet together. Okay, so do that all the way around, and then I will meet you back here at the beginning. Okay, so here we're going to slip stitch again into the first stitch, then chain 1, turn. We're going to decrease once more. So now we're going to work, where's my first stitch, this one. Now we're going to work single crochet, that first stitch, then second stitch, another single crochet, and then into your next 2 stitches work your single crochet 2 together, and then 1 single crochet, another 1 single crochet, and then single crochet 2 together. Okay, so work 2 single crochet into that next 2 stitches, and then single crochet 2 together into that next 2 stitches. Okay, so work single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, 2 together, another single crochet, next stitch single crochet, then next 2 stitches single crochet together. Okay, do this all the way around, and then I meet you back at the beginning. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you don't complete your last stitch with the patterns of the decrease. Okay, now here into that first stitch again, slip stitch, then chain 1 and turn. Now we don't need to make decrease, just work single crochet into all the stitches. Okay, do this 3 more times or 3 more rows to finish our cuff. So it's a total of 5 rows including the last row of single crochet. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5, so I have 5 rows total of the single crochet, including the 2 rows of decrease, then 3 rows without decrease. So it's going to look like this. Okay, and I meet you back when I finish. Just work all single crochet. Okay, so when you are finished your last row, so this is how it look like mine. So total of 5 rows of this last single crochet. Here you don't need to slip stitch at the beginning. You can now cut and then use your yarn needle. So remove your hook and then use your yarn needle to finish. Okay, into your first stitch. This is my first stitch. So insert your yarn needle like this to that stitch and then pull, and then in the middle of your last stitch and then pull. So we have invisible join, as you can see, and you are now ready to fasten off your yarn. Finish your next sleeve and then we are now ready to sew the sides. Okay, so when you are done your 2 sleeves, now we're ready to sew these sides. What you're going to do is measure 3 times this length of your yarn and then cut using your yarn needle. We're going now to sew the sides. So to sew the sides, we just simply whip stitch just in and out into that side. Okay, so when you are done sewing the sides, this is how it look like mine. Now we're going to do the hem. For the hem, we're going to make rows of single crochet, simply as that. So I'm going to start in this corner, insert your yarn in here to that first stitch, then chain 1 to start and start single crochet into all the stitches. We have a clear stitches here, so just work single crochet. So maybe I'm going to work only 4 rows, so I will show you how many rows later. Alright, I'm back and I'm done my hem borders. I made only 3 rows. Then when you are finished, when you stop here, don't cut your yarn. We're going now to continue making the side borders in this part. So turn your work like this and then we're going to continue making single crochet here. Chain 1, then make single crochet into the side of your single crochet. To the side of your double crochet, you can put 2. Side of your single crochet row, put 1. You can see the distance. Okay, continue all single crochet here until you reach this corner. Okay, so when you are done your first single crochet, now divide your stitches according how many buttons you're going to put in your cardigan. So for me, 7 buttons. So divide your stitches, and this is my button size, about 2 centimeters. Now we're going to make the buttonhole for the second row here. So in this part, I will not put a buttonhole because we're going to put the buttonhole in the neckline border in this part. So later we're going to create the border here, and in this side we're going to put the buttonhole. So we're going to skip making buttonhole here, and we're going to start in this second. Okay, to do that you're going to chain 1 and turn, and then single crochet into all your stitches. Okay, when you reach the stitch mark for the buttonhole, remove your stitch mark, and then we're going to chain 1 and then skip that, and into that next stitch work single crochet. So it depends how big your buttons. If you have a smaller, you can do also only 1, but if you have bigger, you can make 2 skip and then 2 chains, then into that next stitch work your single crochet or continue your single crochet. Okay, it depends how big your buttons. You can try it on your buttons, like this one, skipping 1. I will try my button if it's gonna fit, because my yarn is stretchable. It's going to fit this 2 centimeter into this one skip and chain 1. Okay, you can try before continuing your work. Okay, do this all the mark stitch. Okay, so when you're finished your second row, for your third row, chain 1 and turn, and then work again all single crochet, and into that chain 1 space you did for the buttonhole, you can work 1 single crochet into that chain, and just continue all single crochet and working single crochet into that chain. Alright, for the next row, you're going to continue. Again, if you would like to make a bit thicker your side borders for your buttons, but for me, I would like it only 3 rows, and that would be okay for me. But if you would like, you can do 1 more rows. It depends also your liking. As you can see, I did another round here, and looking at it, maybe I will just stick only for 3 rows. You can see it your cardigan if you prefer a bit thicker your borders for the side and the buttons, you can do more rows. Okay, so now I will stop only making 3 rows, so I will frag that, and then I just cut my yarn here. When you're finished your first side border, you can cut and then continue in this side without making the buttonholes, just back and forth single crochet. Okay, I will not show you anymore. It's the same except making the buttonholes. You can count how many stitches you have in this side, so you know how many stitches you're going to put in that side. Okay, continue. Alright, so when you are done your side borders, now we're going to make the neckline border. Insert your yarn in your last row in this side, chain 1 and make single crochet into that same stitch. Then if you have your buttonholes in this row, you can make the chain 1 now and skip that space or stitch, and then into that next row make single crochet. Okay, just look where your buttonhole is in this part. It should be in line in the other buttonholes. So I already skip 1 and chain 1 in there, and then just continue make single crochet all the way around. Okay, single crochet here. Then when you reach in this part, you do also the same, just put 2 in this double crochet row, 1 in the single crochet, 2 here and 1 in this and in here, all the way around until you reach here, and then I will meet you back in this part. Okay, so when you reach the end, just chain 1 and turn again and work another round or another row of single crochet. And then when you reach your chain 1 for the buttonhole, you're going to single crochet into that chain and then continue your single crochet and finish it. And I will make another round later to make it only 3 rounds, and I finish my border. Okay, so that's it. You just need to make more rounds. It's up to you. If you want 4 rounds or 4 rows, you can see that into your work. Okay, so I will make 2 rounds or 2 rows more. Alright, so when you are done doing your neckline border, just weave all your ends, attach your buttons, and we are done with our cardigan. And this is how it look like mine. And hope you like this tutorial. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel and in my Instagram at Crochet by Beb. And hope to see you again next time. Happy crochet everyone. Bye!